Hi, and welcome along to AFTV here with a bit of breaking news, a bit of good breaking news, or should I say breaking good news. And that's all around Bukayo Saka. Now, you would have remembered that last week, Thursday, he hobbled off from the England game when England lost to Greece at Wembley. Saka came off early in the second half with what looked like some sort of a muscle injury, hamstring injury, something to do with that. Obviously, we were very worried when we saw it. I was actually at the game, and when I saw him sit down on the grass, I just was just like this. I was like, no, not Saka. And he came off with that injury, and you're thinking to yourself, how bad is this? Is it a hamstring injury? Because we were being told it was muscular. Is that going to keep him out for several weeks? Well, we're being told that it's not going to keep him out and that he should be fit to play in the game against Bournemouth on Saturday night. And that is great news for Arsenal and great news for Mikel Arteta. As I said, during the game, he went down injured. One of those injuries where it's unprovoked, like nobody's fouled him, nobody's injured him. He just sort of felt something and decided that, let me sit down, let me get someone to have a look at this. And then they took him off. And that was great by Bukayo Saka, because it's one of those that sometimes if you continue playing on and you get one of those hamstring injuries, you can aggravate it, make it even worse. And next minute, you're out for ages. So Saka, the injury is not as bad as first thought. He was allowed by England to return back to Arsenal. So he didn't have to play. England have got a game today, and he doesn't have to play in that game. He's been allowed to return back home, rest it up, and all the reports that we are seeing today is that he's going to be fit in time for that game against Bournemouth. And that's great news, coupled with the news that Martin Odegaard is making good progress as well. There was a lot of rumours flying around yesterday that Odegaard had a setback and that his injury was going to keep him out until December. We're being told that that's false and that he's still making good progress. So looking good there on the injury front, because I was getting seriously worried. Saka has been so important for Arsenal already this season. Goals, assists. I mean, we saw in the last game against Southampton, 2 assists and a goal in the game, and the man of the match performance. So it's great to know that he's going to be okay. And I'm looking at the games coming up. And after this international break, from this one up until the next one, Arsenal have a pretty packed schedule. Of course, Saturday, the 19th of October, 5:30 kickoff UK time, Arsenal go away to Bournemouth. Quickly after that, on the Tuesday, the 22nd of October, Arsenal take on Shakhtar Donetsk at home in the Champions League. So that's a really important game. We want to keep those home games, keep those wins going, and you'd expect Saka to play in that. Then the following week, the 27th of October, they take on Liverpool. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Huge game. Liverpool currently sitting top of the table. Arsenal in third. Huge game, especially when you're sort of, looking around and thinking about the title race. Massive game. Followed quickly after that by a game on the Wednesday, the 30th of October, when Arsenal take on Preston North End away from home in the Carabao Cup. Followed by Newcastle. That is the next game after that. Newcastle on the 2nd of November. That's Newcastle away. Then on the Wednesday, the 6th of November, away to Inter Milan. A lot of away games here. Then coming back on the Sunday to take on Chelsea away again. So that's a really hard run of games. Then after that, we go into another international break. So you can see there's some really big games in that period. Playing Liverpool, Newcastle away, Chelsea away. 2 Champions League games in that period as well, including one away to Inter Milan. We need Saka to be fit for those games. We need Saka for those games. Those are big, important games. And Saka is going to be so important. There's been this big debate around resting Saka. And immediately, yesterday, somebody was saying to me, see, that's why we should have arrested him. I'd say, yeah, hold on, wait a minute. He's playing for England. He's not playing for Arsenal there. He was playing for England. But it just goes to show you that workload of games. And remember, Saka, along with Declan Rice, 2 key players for England, absolute key players. There's no doubt in my mind, if Saka was fit today, he would be playing 90 minutes for England. Just like Declan Rice, he played 90 minutes the other night. Declan Rice will play 90 minutes in this game as well. And the way in which Lee Carsey, the manager, left Declan Rice exposed, you know what I mean? He literally played this ridiculous formation where basically everybody was in attack and he just left Declan Rice there to try and mop up absolutely everything. You're getting through a lot of workload. So we need these players for these games. And will Mikel Arteta decide to try and manage the situation with Saka? Listen, Saka's returned back, seems like he's okay, but will he start that game against Bournemouth? That's another thing. He'll be fit to play it. I no doubt he'll be in the squad, but will it be a thing where Mikel Arteta maybe says, well, right, you know what? Let me leave him out in this game or only bring him on if I need him and maybe start, you know, with Raheem Sterling over on that right-hand side. That's going to be really interesting to see. Then also the Shakhtar game at home. Do you risk him for that Shakhtar game? I mean, I was having this argument with Julian the other day when we was doing Invincible podcasts. Your best players want to play every single game and you want them in every single game. That's an important game still. People might look on it and say, oh, it's only Shakhtar, but it's an important game. But would he maybe decide to, as I said, use him sparingly, maybe against Bournemouth, maybe rest him for that Shakhtar game so he's fully fit, because on Sunday, the 27th of October, Liverpool at home. He definitely wants Saka playing in that game. So that's going to be interesting to see this weekend. Although the reports are that he's going to be okay, will he be rested for that Bournemouth game or maybe used off the bench and maybe then rested for the Shakhtar game to then start against Liverpool? Or is he good enough to start all those games and it was just an absolute precaution? Don't expect to see Saka playing against Preston North End. Expect to see a lot of changes for that game. It's away. Won't be easy. Preston, decent side. Away at Deepdale on the 30th of October. But then, as I said, after that, look at the run of games. Newcastle away. Inter away. Chelsea away. Then an international break. 3 full-blown, tough away assignments. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does with Saka in those games. But the good news today is that Bukayo Saka should be fit for that game against Bournemouth away from home on Saturday, next week Saturday, 5:30 kickoff UK time. Saka should be fine. The injury looked like it was just a precaution. He just went down, didn't want to risk anything, and he's done the right thing, and he should be fine. And that is great news for Arsenal. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out all of our great content. We got a great interview that we did with a comedian, Ian Stone, who's a massive Arsenal fan. So make sure you check that out. That's live on AFTV today. And if you want to find out about injuries, the excellent interview that I did with Dr. Andre, the doctor who actually did the medical for Mikel Arteta when he joined Everton. Check it out. If you want to find out, for instance, about hamstrings, he breaks it down brilliantly in that video. So make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.